You ever feel like Call of Duty's just manipulating you? And I'm not talking about manipulated into buying a pay-to-win skin that gives you a better sight line on the iron sight. I'm not talking about a skin that blends in with a particular background very well. I'm not even talking about the separate matchmaking you get in when you own the full game or the battle pass versus when you don't. I'm talking about pure manipulation of your gameplay. You ever feel like you've won a gunfight, but the game went above and beyond, did several backflips and cartwheels just to spin it in the other person's favor? And then watching the kill cam, you see their aim is light years behind yours. Well, I'll be honest with you. If I was getting invites to play COD next, or, Shanice put me on her special nobody gets to ban you no matter what you're doing list, I would tell you it's server desync. Or I'll tell you, yeah, that's just the servers. They're having issues right now. We're working on it. And I wouldn't be lying to you. See, it's my theory and the theory of a lot of others. The reason that the servers are so dog water right now are simply because there is so much going on with the algorithm behind the scenes pertaining to manipulating the gunfight. So everything's just a 1-to-1 ratio, just fair across the board. But this is the result. Laggy servers, packet loss. And speaking of packet loss, how many times have you been in a game where you've got like 12, 15% packet loss? Your homies, totally fine. It's like every other game for us. And we all live in the same general area. We've all got halfway decent internet. One thing that actually prevents us from facing these problems every other game? We use a VPN with the geofence. I actually get to control which servers that I want to play on. When I look at the Georgia server and I see that it's spiking from 39 millisecond ping all the way up to 290, generally that's an indication that I don't want to connect to that server. Problem is, after I've won 3, 4, 5 games in a row, you best bet your ass that they're going to send us on down to that Georgia server. And regardless of what y'all have heard about Southern hospitality, them Georgia servers are not going to treat you well. Their sweet tea's kind of sour. And also just a quick point of emphasis, if you guys want to try this out for yourself or get easier COD lobbies or be in control of which servers that you play on, I would suggest using SweatVPN like myself and all my friends do. And you know what? You can even get yourself 10% off if you use code HOP at checkout or use the link down in the description. And listen, guys, I really hate drawing parallels, especially when those parallels could be considered, political. But there's one side of the political spectrum that just wants everything to be fair and everybody to have an equal opportunity. At least that's what they say to your face, and then behind the scenes, and well, people that give them more money than you. And I'll be honest with you, if you don't think this is going on, if you don't think that a company would provide you with a better experience based off the amount of money you spend with them, I definitely want to have a private conversation with you on my Discord, because what I need to tell you and what I'm going to call you would make this the last video I ever do on YouTube. But Hoppa, why would they charge more money for a better experience? Yeah, you're right. I don't know shit about business. That's definitely not how it works. In fact, the people that spend the least amount of money should probably be given the best experience, right? And if you can see where I'm going with this, you can probably understand why our economy is in the fucking shitter right now. But here comes the sad part. The part that I gotta drop some truth on you guys. You know how we fix this? It's not gonna be easy, actually. And not everybody's going to want to fix this. Obviously, there are people that spend a lot of money on COD. We call those poor people. Believe it or not, poor people are poor for a reason. They spend money on shit that they don't need or can't afford. Like $30 to $80 digital assets in a game that they don't even get to see. But no, the fix is, achieved by going about it the same way we went about getting the last fix, if you can call it that, Ricochet anti-cheat. You know how that came about? Creators like myself and plenty of others made content about it, causing their viewers to say, you know what, I'm going to play something else. This is bullshit. And the player numbers drops, and guess what they did? They implemented Ricochet anti-cheat, which is a step in the right direction, but initially all it did was make it harder for people to rage hack. Meaning you were getting disconnected at 10 kills, and it was slightly harder to create a new account. And I totally get that. If you sweep the loudest of the problems under the rug, it doesn't seem so apparent, especially when, if you're not snapping from head to head to head faster than your monitor switching frames, then honestly, I could make a case for that guy's not cheating. He's just really good. It's called plausible deniability. And I gotta be honest with you, folks over at Activision, they're really good at that. Like how they say things like ping is king. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Does that mean during the matchmaking process that ping is the most heavily weighted factor? Well, I don't know if you played Call of Duty, but it's not. Or saying things like, we don't use skill-based matchmaking, but then leaving out the part that it is exactly that. They just call it equalization-based matchmaking or engagement-optimized matchmaking, which is an even more rotten apple, because you're definitely being manipulated. You're being put up against people that are better than you, that have a higher chance of winning the gunfight between you. And the reason you're facing off against them instead of an equal counterpart, they have a skin that the algorithm within the game feels like you can be manipulated into buying because you almost won that. What did that guy have that you didn't? And I mean, it's partially true considering that if you've ever spent a considerable amount of money, you know, 50, 60 bucks at once in Call of Duty, the rest of your games that night are going to feel like you're literally playing CPU custom lobbies. And if you don't understand the reference, don't worry about it. You're better off not losing the brain cells finding out what the CPU is and what they stand for and even who they're run by. But that's neither here nor there. The issue that we need to tackle today isn't that we need to stop playing the game. That honestly, whoever said that is not going to help anybody. What would help us is if we all collectively stopped purchasing skins and then use our social media accounts, tag Call of Duty, to tag Activision and explain to them exactly why we stopped playing the game. And that is, we are tired of the manipulation. We are tired of living on the left side, if you will, and where everything's fair to the naked eye, and just let it be what it's going to be. The fact that we handicap kids these days going into the real world by raising them in a fair and equal and balanced environment, we're just setting these kids up for failure. In the real world, there is gods and there's clods, and there's a bunch of people in between. And guess what? There's probably always going to be somebody better than you. There are going to be people that play this game, and hey, listen, I know people that play this game and they suck dick at the game, but they love playing it. And hey, at the end of the day, that's what video games are designed for. They were designed for fun. Listen, no amount of kills is going to make your dad fucking show up with the milk and ciggies that he left 24 years ago for. But the moment that you go, oh, that's a kick-ass skin, and you show zero self-restraint, zero willpower to refrain from, purchasing it, that's you condoning everything that goes on in the game. Have a fit of rage when you get killed or when you get robbed or the times that you are caught there doing pull-ups instead of actually mantling over. And fuck me if it only happens when you're in the middle of a gunfight or running from somebody. Like, here's my biggest thing. What about these screenshots? And I don't want to hear anybody bullshitting me in the comments that these aren't screenshots being taken. If you hold Shift, Windows key, and S on your computer, the exact same thing will happen. Do that in the middle of a game. Take a screenshot in the middle of a game. The exact same thing will happen. And the craziest part is I've literally never had this when I was rotating or just holding high ground or trying to buy something or looting. It's literally only happening in the middle of gunfights. And quite honestly, I've noticed that it typically only happens after I've had a spectator or two, meaning that I think they're probably reporting me, and then the very next gunfight that I get into, they're taking a screenshot. For what reasons, I have no clue, because even if I was cheating, they're not going to fucking ban me. They're just going to throw me into a 1-week timeout limited matchmaking queue. And again, if I was cheating, I've probably got several other accounts that I'm just going to pull right up and get right back into ruining your game.
So this is clear proof that Hapa is a dirty cheater. And I know it.
Everything to deal with this franchise, this game right now, is based on their ability to manipulate the outcome of it for us. And the only control over that we have is, well, just the amount of money we give them. And my honest goal is to bring that number as close as I can to zero, because I understand that's how change gets made. That's how we got Ricochet. That's how we got Rebirth back. That's how we got the Car 98 back. That's how we're going to get Verdansk back. And although I don't ever see them removing their manipulative ways from, the matchmaking system or even, just your overall gameplay, I do see them toning it down a little bit. Every couple months, a new season will come out or a new update will come out, and you'll have people go, hey, did they turn off skill-based matchmaking? Did they lessen the burden of skill-based matchmaking? Well, although we don't have any analytics to prove this because they made the API private. Great move, guys. You can kind of feel that it's actually happening. So again, they haven't spent tens of millions of dollars developing patents to shelve them and not use them. This company doesn't do a damn thing unless they get a return on investment. You can believe that. Just like you can believe if you don't like this video right now, I'm going to send Dylan Mulvaney to your house to force you to like it. Wait, what? You don't think he can force you to like it? Oh. Yeah, that's another topic for another day. That's definitely not on this platform. And if you enjoyed the quick little rant I had today, because let's be honest with you guys, I'm just as sick of the bullshit that we're dealing with every single day, and this is what I do for a living. So it's not like, hey, I'm gonna just play another game. Because if you say that shit, you literally have zero clue of what it's like to run a social media brand or even a gaming channel on YouTube. The moment that Call of Duty or Warzone isn't in the picture is literally the moment that YouTube's like, nobody, you're not. That's not you. What are you doing? They don't even send out notifications when I play Apex. And listen, you would think if I had this much problem with Call of Duty, it would indicate that I hate the franchise. I don't hate the franchise. I love the franchise. I love the game. I was around when we all started this. OG gamers like myself, people that you call 9-to-5ers, people that you call old heads. We were the ones running around getting changes brought to the game back then when we're like, hey, how about this game mode? Boom, insert cranked. Because you know what? For as much as you want to call us old heads and stuff like that, we were the ones that pioneered running around like crackheads because we knew we were going to respawn in 2 seconds after we got laser beamed anyways. It was just fun. Which, by the way, is becoming harder and harder to do with this game. But I still have fun, especially when I play with Grumpy and Frankie and Basic and Murder and all the other boys. Hey, we have fun. Otherwise, why the hell would we keep doing it? It's just that you got to understand, closed mouths don't get fed. We've got to let our points be known with these people. Otherwise, they're just going to take our money and keep feeding us shit. And if you guys enjoy like rants like this and just off the topic things that I think and recorded to a microphone while I'm drinking my coffee, probably not honestly the best time to get the nicest version of Hoppa. Do me a huge favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications if you want to see more. YouTube will never let you miss another time I upload a video, go live. You can see this stuff happen to me in real time. And listen, guys, I know I called it manipulation, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a little bit of social engineering. But if that's what it is, you always got to remember the wise words of one of my greatest inspirations in doing what I do today, Kevin Mitnick, who once said, social engineering is using deception, manipulation, and influence to convince a human who has access to a computer system to do something, like click an attachment in an email, or in this case, spend their hard-earned money on a microtransaction for a better experience in a video game. I added that part. Catch you guys in the next one. Mahalo.